Ну что, ребятишки, здравствуйте. Начинаем новую серию записи прохождения Elysium, Disco Elysium, вторая серия. В прошлой серии было много косяков по поводу звука и по поводу авторских прав. YouTube все-таки достал. Поэтому в этой серии я выключу звук, точнее музыку. Я думаю, что небольшая потеря потерпим. Итак, мы вышли из отеля. Где-то там болтается труп. Мы не знаем где, но судя по дыре, вот здесь. Ну, ничего, успеем снять труп. Давайте, понеслась. Тачка заполнена тающим снегом.
The RCM in Martinez. What can I help you with?
Ты удивлена? У меня несколько вопросов.
We don't see a lot of police around here, that's all. Of course. What can I help you with? Of course. Where to? Oh, that's right there, in the yard.
На север. Это вверху.
Even all the way over here, there's a drop of death in the spring air.
It's there, in the yard, right through the hole in the fence.
Even all the way over here, there's a drop of death in the spring air.
What do you mean? Yes, sir. District of Martinez. This intersection is called Roundabout North.
He knows where we are. He just wants directions.
There's the pier, the Cape Side apartment buildings, some more tenements. Not a lot, really. The harbor gates, some kind of commotion, I think. I don't follow the local politics. A fleet store, too.
На востоке. Это получается справа.
Some shops and a bridge. The canal bridge leads to the coast, but it's broken, I think. Some kind of accident, probably. Just coast. There's a little fishing village there, and a fish market. But that got closed down ages ago. It's just water. No, actually, I think they call it the Martinez Inlet. There are some islands in the bay, but they're hard to reach. No problem.
Ориентир, короче, она нам дала. Местная карта. Может, у нее карта?
She's very well composed, back straight.
Me? I am just a gardener.
She hides it well, but behind the sweat and dirt there is something else in her rigid posture.
I'm working. I have a greenhouse in the yard there. I've been trying to get some work done. Well, as you already know, there's a corpse there, hanging from a tree. It smells
Don't worry, miss. We are here to clean it up. You can get to work soon.
Thank you. My head is about to explode from all the...
Salts, ammonium salts, perhaps useful for later.
Of course. I won't hold you back.
Какая-то подозрительная собавница.
If there's a corpse, then you're going to need those gloves for the autopsy.
Sure, keep them. I have another pair.
Так. Хорошо. конечно же, один из этих самых крепких мужчин. Это вот этот тип, который продает этих
Welcome
мужчин.
to Rivachol.
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years ago. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you.
Подхалим, да? Да, скажи ему. В чем дело? Ты сердишься, Ким? Я думаю, в этой ситуации лучше промолчать.
What he means is, fixation on the Revacholian nation makes it harder for Revachol to actually attain self-determination.
Oh, come on, man. I just said welcome to Rivachol. It's a lorry driver thing.
Он даже говорит по-немецки. С немецким акцентом, точнее.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here, that I should watch myself and behave. But you see, I'm an officer of the RCN. It's actually my job to make sure you behave.
Silence. The air between them becomes tense. Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
Да, тяжелый вопрос. Давайте, наверное, будем или долбоебом улыбнуться шоферу, или стукнуть лейтенанта по плечу с напарником. Все-таки мне кажется, лучше быть долбоебом.
I haven't learned anything I didn't know before.
The lieutenant exhales and resumes his regular calmness.
Whatever you say, officers.
He smells of heavy motor oils and his breath of high tar content cigarettes, probably Astra
Astra.
Whites.
Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a sit and wait on your ass situation. Apples.
Apples is exactly the kind of thing you'd say if you had something to hide.
Yeah, apples. I take it you had other questions? It's about biological determinism, natural law, the sorting of the races. Not the most popular topic nowadays, with the coalition in charge and all. You might want to change the topic. That is, bury your head under the sand like common sheep.
Понимаю, кому-то приходится быть популярным парнем. А так ты просто расист, понятно. Если честно, я совсем не понимаю, что значит. Может, объяснишь? На самом деле я хочу сменить тему, наверное.
People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. So, naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the merits in that.
Ясно. И что ты еще надумал? Да, по тебе сразу видно, что ты выдающийся образец расового превосходства. Мгм.
Open your eyes. Haven't you noticed something different lately? An unfortunate downturn, maybe? Huh? When members of the superior race cease to believe in their innate superiority, they stop competing for resources. The problem? The damn kips are showing a real good game lately. Same with the mosquitoes. And the other introduced species too. They're on the precipice of cultural victory.
Cultural victory? What is this then?
It's what the kips of Boogie Street are going for, right under our noses. And the others too, on the radio. Heard any chansons lately? Heard any motetos or leader? No. Dominating culture is how they plan to. It's true. Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixing races. Who knows what might happen if people don't stay in their birthplace? You might end up with a new sub-race, with unknown characteristics, leading to extra competition. That's why you've got to control the offspring. Go right ahead. You may be a cop, but that won't help you avoid the calamity to come.
Lieutenant Kisaraga's stern expression remains unchanged, but you sense something there. Not a lot of moral fiber on this one yet, he thinks, wriggled out of it.
Стержня пока в нем что нет, думает лейтенант, выкрутился как червяк.
Looking for something?
Бабло, бабло, конечно. Давайте мы понижим громкость. Особенно голос. Мы сохранимся заодно. Так, дальше.
Scab?
Антистачник.
You're hazy on the notion of a scab. Smells like politics, though. Maybe it's got something to do with the flask he reaches for from time to time.
А что такое антистатчик?
A kind of a worm, content with mere survival. They come, they want to do our job for shittier pay, screwing over both themselves and us. Everybody loses.
Это китайцы. Да, хотят приходить за копейки делать нашу работу.
Gotta
Похоже,
be
им
bloody
это не
stupid,
очень нравится.
freaking evil to Scab. Or I guess scared maybe. But scared of what? Of who? Personally, I'd rather beg than scab. If the gentleman shouting on the street came begging, maybe they'd have gotten something.
Это лучше, чем ходить с протянутой рукой.
We'd
Ладно,
explain
за
the
него
matters,
будем.
but they don't listen. This lot would be reasonable and go home if the big guy wasn't riling them up all the time. I was just messing with you.
А,
No one's
просто
ever seen a
прокалывали.
cop scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money.
Show him your stolen card. Now has arrived the perfect moment.
Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the wild north? Come to see the strife?
Я прибыл на Мартинес, расследуя убийство. Мне нужно узнать, что с этим работать. Я изучаю мир. Я на самом деле такой же рабочий, как и вы, парни. Показать ему украденную карточку. У меня сейчас небольшая беда с деньгами, ты меня не выручишь? Для чего? Вообще устроили эту забастовку. Что уж, хороший вышел разговор, но мне пора идти. Я думаю, покажем ему карточку.
The man looks at the colorful piece of plastic, then at you, then
But that's not you, officer. From back when you were not a cop, but a heavy-set, dark-skinned dock worker named Santiago John? Highly unlikely. I've known John for several years now. Also, you told me you're a cop, remember?
now you're in a mess. The time hath not arrived. So
Проебался.
Oh, John's been out drinking himself blind again. He should watch his step, that John.
no, it will prove useful still. Believe your thieving fingers.
Oh, is my friend in some sort of trouble? Who knew? Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder.
Да, лентяй походу он. Расследовать убийство, много работы. На самом деле это очень весело и просто. Ты прав. Убийство почти невозможно раскрыть. Я на 91% уверен, что ничего не получится. Прошептать. Я понятия не имею, что я делаю. Может, ты поможешь мне и скажешь, кто это
Of
сделал?
course, policia.
Конечно, полиция.
It wasn't me. You can rule me out. Easier that way.
He didn't do it. It's the truth.
My friend, I respect the right to roam. The open range awaits. I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a grantor of passage. The passage grants itself.
Проход сам себя открывает.
If it's all so simple, why don't the strikebreakers just go up the stairs?
Вот так просто я могу подняться, взять и подняться, и войти,
Ай.
короче.
Walk right past Measurehead and go in.
Мимо голова
Yeah,
мира.
the 2.5-meter tall Semini supremacist there. Walk right past him. Then press the
Так.
button to unlock the door. Then go
Ага.
past him again. And
Так.
you enter the arbor through the office. Está.
То есть хочешь сказать, что это будет крайне сложно? Ага, понятно. Но сначала хочу задать несколько вопросов.
The man
Давай.
whispers a jaunty tune. A coastal
Давай-ка с
Sure thing, my
деньгами
friend.
мне.
I can help you out.
The coin narrowly slips by
Неудача,
your
да.
outstretched fingers and
Охуеть.
falls to the ground.
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to throw it like that. It's a thing we harbor folk do, passing around cargo and such. Was not meant as provocation or ridicule.
The boyadero stares at you with respect, then gestures towards.
Right, always glad to help out the RCM. We're on the same branch you and I. Humans, I mean, not slithering scabs.
Мгм.
You
Для
know,
чего вообще
serious
устроил эту
business.
забастовку?
I'm sure the big boss will be glad to tell you. You'll have to ask him first.
Где у него шеф? Внизу стоит, наверное.
He's a chatty guy, wants to talk about the strike too, just can't break the command structure and tell you now.
Поговори-ка с ним еще.
Hola, wandering man.
Я тут пишу. Опа, тёлка. Ну-ка. Ну-ка, давай разговариваем с тобой. Ах, другая тёлка есть.
Your body betrays your degeneracy.
Значит, он расист. Будем разговаривать с ним как
Yeah,
с...
Measurehead. His
Ой,
body
блядь,
totally
сучка
betrays
какая.
his degeneracy.
Ну, я бы ничего не говорил.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology? It must be frightening to stand
Так он
in the shadow
гордится своим
of this
телом.
racial pinnacle. Be calm, sandwich. You are not in danger because you are not a threat to me. That is precisely the negligence that has led you to succumb to Al-Ghul. You reek of it. An
У
invisible
него тоже
sword
акцент
of Al-Ghul
германский.
emerges from your throat.
Интересно.
You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my
Да
company
ладно,
sick.
отвратительно, что ли?
Yes,
He means alcohol.
correct. My small skull servant. Al-Ghul is an ancient Ilmaran poison, a parasitic fungus that has colonized your race.
Ну, тогда выпьем
It is a
немного
trick
алкоголя.
the desert pygmies played on you for humiliating them and stripping them of their land.
Intentionally fermented drinks have existed for 10,000 years.
This is a fabrication the alchemists of Yizot and Bashir and the Rolam and Hul have fed your people. Go on believing in it, race loser. Why don't you have another drink? Your features are not yet congenitally deformed.
Oh yeah, Measurehead.
Походу она самочка.
It's not good.
It's like a rat crawled into your stomach, got drunk and drowned.
Your mouth moves, but the one who speaks is Al-Ghul. You are but a vessel for the group. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the...
Does this remind you of someone? The guy down there?
Да, того возле киоска напоминает. Долбоёба. И рожа у него какая-то странная на картинке. Видишь того жирного расиста? Показать на расиста водителя. Ты это он, только подкачался. Я сотрудник полиции, ты обязан мне подчиниться, подойти на шаг. Все это расовая хрень сейчас не имеет значения. Мне просто нужно, чтобы ты помог мне с работой. Ну давай с работы
begging
поможешь.
for help. attempting to pass fear for cooperation. How far the Occidental haplogroup has fallen. You were once a noble and powerful race. You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You made great gains in metallurgy, raised you dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Khoikos. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed. You will be superseded. Isn't that right?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage of history with dignity by inviting the bring your troops to the Simenon Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. When you are gone, we will build a museum for you. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul, your beloved.
Я бухарик.
Inside, we will store the oaths to homosexuality you call art, and your
Мы развесим
microcephalics.
орды гомосексуальности, которые вы называете искусством. И наши микроцефалистические черепа. Ваши.
There may be a peaceful solution to this. You could internalize Mesheket's race theory. He would take you as one of his
Так,
own.
нейтрализовать его теорию. Значит, надо его опровергнуть, короче.
Well, not as such. What you do with the
Опа.
mastery of advanced race theory
Так,
is
ну-ка,
up to you.
да, придется
You could
опровергнуть,
reject the
прочитать
findings,
семитским расистом.
sure, or accept them and become an advanced racist.
Не будь таким уродом товарищем Докера. Показывать ему правильное удостоверение. Ты служишь профсоюзу, верно? Разве они не белые? Что означают твои татуировки? И концептуализация. Согласиться с его временной расовой теорией.
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
Я новичок в этом мире, помоги мне разобраться в его ресурсах. Скажи мне, какие расы существуют. В его расах.
Do you?
Но мне интересно прошептать это для дела. Впрочем, по зрелому рассуждению, пожалуй, не отказаться от возможности еще.
The lieutenant looks toward the harbor's electronic door, and then,
Есть
to
взгляд
you,
хороший,
he lets out
слышимый
an
вздох.
order.
You are obviously a liberal, Sayerlight. A polyculturalist. I can see it from your love of microtechnology and your sartorial choices. Do not deny your friend the truth you have denied yours. There are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Type B,
Сердилильные
the
расы.
servile races. And the
Отвратительные
vile
расовые
CF race cauldron of
педерастии.
Which one do you need education on? Those are the Simonese, the Areopagite, and the Occidentals, excluding the Mao, of course. The Mao are riddled with eczema to the point where they find it impossible to smile. They are all lactose. A receding genetic pool has led the Mao on reprehensible street parades in mound cities like Stadskanal and Fredefort, wearing wooden clogs on their feet and little green tassels on their hats. You know them by the names of their nation states. The Oranese, the Gotwaldians, and the Königstein.
Mahoon is a derogative term for first world people of Gotwaldian descent. They do not all have eczema. Also, People of Katla, like the Suru and the Uhu, are much more lactose intolerant. In some municipalities of Oranje, people do wear shoes made of wood to street parades. Green, orange, and even yellow tassels have also.
The Maun are proof that you can have too much Occidental racial purity and tassel-centric culture. Inbreeding has led to a lactose-intolerant subrace whom no one can take seriously.
Colorful tassels are, let's be honest, not a good sartorial choice for this century. You might want to avoid wooden clogs too.
Ясно, понятно. А кто тогда, по твоему мнению, относится к типу А?
The Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messina,
Весперцы,
the
мессинцы
ancient
из
Meteorans of
Vespera.
Mateo by the Golden
И Мессины.
Atlantic Sea, the Surans
Метеоранцы,
of La Clé,
Метеор.
and even the North Königsteiners, all have type A race propensities. The other large Mondial civilization, the Mesk, are too yellow and legends
Слишком
to
желтые
count
китайцы,
as a
наверное.
heroic race. True, they are violent and expansionist, but they have a glandular problem.
Проблема в селекции. Они не могут выводить свой рас.
Overproduction of sebum. Sebum is leaking into their brains, making them listen to El Mariachi music and eat toxic minced meat-based food, which in turn only produces more sebum. As proven by the Maun and the Mesk, Occidental type A is in retrograde. The Seminese and the Areopagites are on the ascent.
Есеменийцы это ты, да?
The indigenous people of this, the Insulindian archipelago. The Simonese inhabit the southern islands. I am Simonese from the stock. The Areopagites are the master race of the Ilmaran deserts. The Simonese are descendants of the Areopagites. We came here during a heroic
Да, короче,
migration
здесь
from
хрен разберем, блядь, в этих
Ilmaran
расах.
Wait, didn't Ilmaran desert pygmies invent alcohol and get pillaged just a short while ago?
No, those were scimitar wielding race losers of Sahrawa, Izzet, and Bashir, with their Himmi servants. Big difference. The Areopagites were fasting and conquering while this happened. You never penetrated the western dunes.
Jean, baby, you're
Ой,
on
ой, ой,
fire.
сучка, блядь. Чё, блядь, трахнуть его хочешь?
I know, Bay. The Areopagites
Что-то,
are
блядь, заеб,
sleek,
нахуй, уже, блядь.
long-headed. The
Сколько?
Simonese are powerful,
34 минуты, блядь.
mesomorphic.
Читаем, блядь, о
Former
какой-то
is an
хуйне.
immutable progenitor, unchanged since the super isola of Pericarnassus. Ancient brains rest in their slender skulls. The latter is perfected and adapting. Together they form the Simeno-Areopagite or Simeopagite super race. That is all. There are. You need to know both types A and B to understand the context for.
Yeah, you have to have context, you know.
Type B are the unheroic races, amorphous non-competitors of the great race. The Khoikos and the Vacholier, they are mud-colored people.
The Khoikos of Grad, Yugo, Zhimsk, Shest et al. Are what you would call white officer in a suspect description.
Yes, to an untrained eye, the Khoiko appear white and pinkish, like a ham sandwich. But look into their eyes and you will see. They are of an indistinct color,
Вон те,
and
и
so
так же,
is
как
their
и
skin.
кожа.
unhealthy,
Нездоровый землянистый
muddy.
пепел.
Pinkness is a racial quality that has to be earned through centuries of advanced ballistic warfare and cultural domination that the Grad people have undergone for drinking Al-Ghul and smoking the degenerate tobacco and for eating potato.
Да. Короче, не зря. Ой, не надо курить, распивать алкоголь и жрать картошку.
The Khoikhoi, the countless micronationalities of Grad, are all inexplicably obsessed with that.
Короче, все из-за
The
картошки,
only
ребята.
thing
Вот
they
у вас
like more is
землянистая
divided
кожа из-за
into
картошки.
microscopic ethnostates, like political amoeba.
Нехуй жрать картошку, жрите мясо.
Wouldn't he be 1 for ethnostates?
Тебе нравится национальный
They
государство?
are microscopic. The Semenoareopagite superstate will cover the entire remaining planetary crust, uninterrupted. From Holy Semenite, its leaders will be the genetic epitome of the Semenese and Areopagite stock, elected by nature, not the base inner spoilage called demos. Revacholians, halfway between type A and the racial cauldron. Two makes to know right from wrong. You tried your degenerate little revolution, which was the thing.
Is
Короче, я
it
ни хрена не
82,000
понял.
years that we've been recording history?
Это что,
You have
вступление
very
было?
little idea of
Раса,
what
блядь,
is
этих?
happening. But that seems a little off.
Людей в игре, что ли? Я точно знаю, что наша история не такая длинная. Я слышал о революции, да, они наделали ошибок, но в целом все было сделано правильно. Тут ты не прав. Революцию устроили дегенеративные мародеры Лаваки, а на весь рельшевский народ. А не весь рельшевский народ. Прогнать дурацкие мысли о политике. Что это была за революция? Ну,
The
ладно.
revolution came to Ravachol from Grad in Zaraz written potato carts. It is literally an illness, a prion disease that leaves the parietal and frontal lobe ridden
Мягкая,
with
громкая
holes,
масса, слабоумие,
a soft
галлюцинации и паранойя.
sponge-like. The
Какая-то у тебя
revolution is
галлюцинация, блядь, в
fatal
голове, нахуй.
familial insomnia, a hereditary prion condition passed from the Khoikhoi to the Occidentals, but not sexually. Probably through trade routes and potate acid, the prime component
Картофельная
of
кислота.
the potato. Enough of
Чувствую, у нас серия сегодня
TBT.
получится исключительно про разговор с этим типом.
Tips CF are a museum of failed chimeric experiments and tragic maladaptations. They are tortured creatures waiting to be put to sleep. Your morbid interest in them worries me.
Что за
Lesser
химические
races
эксперименты?
like the mosquito, a grotesque mixture of a masked woman and a Semenese man. Only possible if the mother is masked and the father Semenese. The other way around, they fail to produce offspring. The mosquito is born sterile, like a donkey.
Москиты рождаются бесплодными, как
All
мух.
they have left is to
Сочувствие
ride
служит на запад,
customized
чтобы
motor
избавиться от
carriages
бессильного
with
отчаяния.
hydraulic suspension.
Им остается только
Listening
кататься
to
на
aggressive El
тунингованных
Mariachi music
мотоциклах
to vent
с
their
гидравлической
impotent
подвеской и
despair.
слушать агрессивную музыку Эль Мариачи.
It seems unlikely that two
Логика.
humans produce
Вряд ли
genetically
двое
sterile
человеческих
offspring.
сознания способны произвести на свет генетически стерильного отпрыска. Ответы. Может быть, я что-то не понял, но разве все люди не похожи настолько, чтобы их дети не были генетически стерильными? Что-нибудь еще?
You are right. You have misunderstood. You lack basic. Then
Что-нибудь
there
еще
is
расскажешь?
the Semino Koiki Chimera. Are you sure you wish to know of the Semino
Да,
Koiki?
конечно,
The
хочу,
Koiko,
хули.
as you know, are very servile, especially when they meet the rich man. Racial scientists have toyed with the idea of crossing the Semenes with the Koiko to produce a super worker of Semene strength and graziability. This will never happen. The Semenes and the Koiko may have similar interbreeding problems as the mosquito. We will never know precisely. No Semenese man could maintain an erection in the Suffolk, but enough. It is cruel to entertain ourselves with the deformities of Type F. You understand nothing. To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, what is the race enigma? You have not even worded the mystery, let alone solved it. We will see.
Access to the Union is important for our investigation, but there may be another way without becoming a race theoretician.
You need to internalize what you have heard here today, then return to me. This clarity does not come instantly. I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss, Tibere Vasholian. Your love for disco music, there is nothing funky about them. There are 3 categories of race. I cannot possibly imagine what else we have. Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that. Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront polycultural capital. Some also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic.
Наивности, да? Индивидуализм — это моя шутка.
Jam.
Фишка.
Individualism. You have gotten these ideas from degenerate youth culture, have you not? You have picked them up from rock and roll songs? Offshoots of the Semenese people invented disco while having sex under the influence of cocaine. It is a shame upon my race. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the Semenese race. The South Island race, haplogroup A4A. We are the rightful masters of the Insulindian archipelago. We descend from the Areopagites of ancient Perica. We are the future. I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Ulumbuir are with me in my genetic dreams. I see young... No. I have heard about it on the radio. I'm from Couronne. And no, it is not just in Revachol. The city is central to the Semenese strategy. You have heard enough about our phylogenetic secrets for today. You have extinction.
I think this racist is better than the last, but the next racist will...
That will be the...
He will grant us 3 wishes.
Your pedomorphic friend has quick wits, a protruding occiput, and an indented zygomatic bone.
The lieutenant does not flinch.
You should keep him close. The congenital defect of farsightedness does not render him a complete invalid. he still has the use of his mind. Racists are generally not very good examples of their race.
Welcome to Revachol. You hear him yell at a redhead woman visiting a flitter nearby.
Я не понял нихуя. Расисты, как правило, не бывают достойным представителем своей расы.
He
Ну,
must
вот
think
да.
redheads are immigrants.
I am not like them. I am
Кранiometric
craniometric profession.
совершенство.
I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and features.
The drawings are precise and look true to their pseudo-scientific ambitions. One thing, however, it is not entirely free of throwbacks in the phylogenetic tree. His large jaw, for example, could be a trait indicative of criminalism. Also, his earlobes could be small.
That atavistic stigmata makes pussy say yes, plenty.
Сучка.
Babe, thanks. But I got this.
The man looks at you, silent and unmoving.
You are not Santiago. Santiago is not you. Even the phrenically impaired can see.
Да. Не получилось хоть. Ладно. Общения. Сучки. Ну что, давайте так поступим. Серия почти 50 минут. И я думаю, что на этом серию закончу. Назовем ее так. Чтобы кому не интересно было читать, просто ее пропустим. Потому что мы ничего не сделали, кроме как поговорили с двумя расистами. Поэтому всего доброго. Ну, давайте, наверное, до третьей серии.